Hello again, lockpicking Paul here, and what we've got here is a tale of two Yales. So this is a follow-up video to the one I did a few nights ago on the relative merits of using snapped Euros instead of padlocks as tools to learn picking. They're cheap, plentiful, especially if you're in Europe or the UK. Larger keyways, bigger pins, will accept thicker picks. Generally a good proposition, but the caution at the time was they are a bit of a mixed bag. These old Yales, like this one, standard 5 and 6 pins, this is a 6, they've normally got standard drivers with 1 or 2 spools. They're actually really nice locks to pick because they give very clear feedback, very large deep false sets, which are kind of easy to get out of. There's nothing else special about them. There's no countermilling, there's no fancy keypins. They're very straightforward, and they are considered to be relatively easy. Certainly, because it's a genuine house lock, and some of these, they're still installed in the UK, it kind of feels good that you can pick one of them open. That is all that is protecting, in some cases, some people's homes. Thankfully, companies are upping their game. Now, you might, if you bought a bundle of snapped Euros, get something like this, which is another Yale. It's obviously a bit more modern, but this one is half of a Yale superior. It's got the kite mark, it's got the 1-star rating, and this is a horse of a different colour. It has got torpedo keypins and all serrated drivers. Sometimes they have also got counter-milled cores, so they can be quite challenging to pick. Thankfully, from a picker's perspective, thankfully the tolerances aren't as tight as something like a GG. So it means that they are actually, with a bit of practice, quite a pickable lock. It's not like you're going to be here for 15 minutes scratching your head and bending picks trying to open them. They are, with some practice, easier. I wouldn't call them easy per se. When I first started picking locks, these things, I used to groan a bit when I got a bundle of snapped Euros through, and if it had a couple of these in there, I thought, oh no, it's going to cause me some pain. But of course, that is the opportunity to up your game and improve your picking. So this is another 6-pin lock. It's actually got a really lovely action. It's extremely smooth. Works perfectly. So what we'll do is I will sort my tools out because I'm going to pick it and then we're going to gut it. And you can see the fanciness that's inside this thing. Good, like I said, a good opportunity to up your game. So I will see you in a moment. Right, all the device, camera set up, so let's see if we can get it open. And then gutted. You can see what makes this Yale just a little bit different. Lots and lots of little clicks with serrated pins. I think that was one going through a spool line, got a bit of a false set on there. Or a core freed. One I think is set as well. I think. Never quite sure where you are with a serrated pin. There you go. Happy days. So actually that is not a bad pick time, if I'm honest. That's gone exceptionally well. That's what happens when you concentrate. You do a little better than you think you're going to do. Right, let's get the pinning tray and get this thing open. Let's found them back. Brass, right, I've got to lock it back up because I've got the keys, so use those to take it apart. These brass washers are really easy to remove, which makes a change. Get the shim. Oh no, don't slide forward. We don't want that. I'm peering around the side of the camera here at the moment. There we go. That's in. Tolerances in these Yales aren't fantastic. If it was anything like a GG, it'd be a lot harder. Right then, pin 1 is a torpedo key pin. Pin 2 is a torpedo key pin, or a T-pin I suppose, but I like to think of them as torpedoes, that's what they look like. Number 4 is a torpedo, 3 was a standard, 5 is a torpedo, and 6 is a torpedo. Does this one have any countermilling? It doesn't, which probably made that a darn sight easier. So no, sometimes these have countermilling in them. This one doesn't. Okie dokie, let's put that away. And now, the Bible. Right, first one's a serrated key pin. Second one's a serrated key pin. Try and get rid of that shim that's in there. It's going to make life a bit difficult. There you go. Got that. That's serrated. I think they're all serrated in this, if I'm honest. Don't remember there being any standards. There you go. All steel springs in here, so really quite high pressure on the pins as well. To be honest with you, a 2-minute pick I'm actually a bit pleased with, because that is first time I encountered these. It was considerably longer to get them open. That is quite a pin set, and not something you'd associate with your average Yale. So, like I said at the beginning, if you find yourself with a kite mark Yale, it's not going to be standard pins and the odd spool. It's going to be something a bit more substantial. like that. But these, this is if you're ready to sort of move up to something of more of a challenge, these are a good in-between step before heading for something hideous like a GG. So yeah, interesting locks, those Yales. I hope you enjoyed that. That's it for tonight. Enjoy your picking. Cheers.